Hey guys, I'm here on my web camera, which never ever happens, because I want to make a vlog about something, and I'm generally more articulate in writing, but with this particular topic, it's kind of emotional and abstract, and um, I just think that I would be better able to explain it talking, so that's what I'm gonna do. And before I start, I just want you all to appreciate my awesome shirt. Here we go. That's right, it's Kurt Vonnegut, and you all are very jealous. So I've had a super long day trying to get ready for school and pack up my room, which is why I'm currently residing in my creepy attic to film this vlog due to the sacrifices I make for you. Because my room is currently overtaken by boxes and piles of school supplies and everything else. So here I am to do my vlog as promised. And basically, what I want to talk to you guys about today is human connection and why it is so important. And I think that this is something that kind of gets skewed on Tumblr. And I know it's in like a joking way, but I've kind of been thinking about it a lot lately. And what really inspired me to make this vlog is this movie I was watching last night, and I don't even know what it was called. I only caught about 30 minutes of it. But basically, it was about these two people who had been really dorky in high school and hadn't had a lot of friends and didn't really have a lot of great memories from high school. But then they were going back for their 10-year reunion and re-meeting everyone that they had disliked in high school. And generally, I would just make a TLDR text post about this, as per my usual, just big ranty paragraphs, but this was such an abstract and weird concept for me to talk about that I thought maybe it would be a little more cohesive and concise and clear if I talked about it instead. So that's what I'm going to do. Basically, what I want to say is kind of my experience growing up was that I was continually waiting for the right time in my life to form meaningful connections with people. And my excuse all throughout high school was, well, it doesn't matter that I don't really get along with these people, and, I don't have really meaningful, deep friendships with these people because I'm going to go on to college and meet new people. And I only have these people for 4 years, and, whatever, I'm going to graduate and move, and so these friendships don't matter. But the connections that you form with people do matter. And you need to appreciate them, and you need to realize that they are shaping you. And you can't just wait until the next phase of your life. You can't continually put off forming bonds with people. That's no way to live your life. And so, even at the risk of getting hurt, or at the risk of wasting your time and having nothing in common with someone, the worst thing that can happen is that you wasted a few minutes of your time, or even a few months of your time. Even if ultimately this person doesn't become your best friend or your confidant, every relationship that you form changes you. And that's important. That's all we have. And so don't just keep putting it off and making excuses and saying, well, you know what, these people aren't perfect, and this time in my life isn't perfect to make friends or make enemies or find a mentor or find a leader or find someone that you can take under your wing. Like, this is what life is about, is human connection. So even though I may not have been thrilled with the people that I went to high school with or middle school with or elementary school with, even if those people had only been fair weather friends or fleeting friends or what have you, or even if they had a negative impact on my life, even if they screwed me over and, we didn't get along and we didn't like each other, those relationships shaped who I am. Like, I am who I am because of the connections that I made with other humans. Even if they seemed superficial or unimportant at the time, they were important and they do matter. And going to my high school reunion, I talked a big talk before graduation about how I would never come back, and the reunions didn't mean anything to me, and I would never return to any reunions. But I think I need to, because seeing where my friends from high school ended up can tell me something about myself. Because we came from the same place and we have something in common. And you can't just brush that off and act like it doesn't matter, because it does. When I go back to my high school reunion, I'm going to care what happened to those people that I went to high school with. And it's not just going to be curiosity, it's going to be actual caring. And that has to tell me something. It has to tell me that even if these people weren't my best friends in high school, they had an impact on me, and I care what happens to them. And I hope that they care what happens to me. When I go to my high school reunion and I see someone from my graduating class across the room, I can try and deny it all I want. And yes, some people in high school made my life a living hell. And no, I will not miss them. But others, people who I had neutral relationships with, I care about them because we shared a life experience. We went through high school together. Even if our relationships were ambiguous at best, like, they were in my high school class, they grew up with me, and so when I see them in 10 years, yes, I'm going to care what they're doing with their life. Yes, I'm going to care if they're married, if they have kids. I'm going to be excited to see them, because where they end up could tell me something about where I've ended up and why things happen the way they do. Human connection is everything. Like, we form meaningful connections with each other. And, I kind of have a problem dealing with my own mortality, because ultimately it can seem like everything you do on earth is meaningless, because of course death is inevitable. And that sounds really emo, but I mean, like, that's kind of how I view it sometimes. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, none of this really matters, because it's not going to make a lasting impact in the long run. And really, the only thing that does make an impact, and the thing that we are remembered for, are the connections that we make with people. So they have to matter all the time. And so, to sum up my whole argument that I'm trying to make here, make connections with people. Even if they're not perfect people. Even if you don't have a lot in common with them. Even if you think you're not going to be the best of friends. Make a connection. Introduce yourself. Find something that you have in common with that person. Share experiences. Because without that, that's when life really does border on the meaningless. I hope this vlog was worth it. I hope I said some slightly insightful things. And there you go. Until next time.